So today we are going to study chapter number 2 of First Flight, that is Long Walk to Freedom, narration by Nelson Mandela. So let's start. Introduction and context. Long Walk to Freedom is an extract from autobiography of Nelson Mandela, the renowned anti-apartheid leader and the first black president of South Africa. In this chapter, Mandela not only recounts the historic inauguration ceremony of new democratic government held on May 10, 1994, but also reflects on his long struggle against the racial injustice of apartheid. The chapter is set against the backdrop of a country that had been deeply divided by systematic discrimination, where black people were deprived of their basic rights. Explanation of key themes. Number 1. The struggle against apartheid. Mandela describes a time when South Africa was ruled by a system of white supremacy. The extract highlights how dark-skinned people were subjugated and treated as outcasts in their own land. Mandela's own journey from a young man who initially enjoyed a carefree life to someone who realized that the freedom he had been promised was nothing but an illusion, serves as a powerful critique of the oppressive apartheid system. Number 2. A historic transition. The chapter centers on the symbolic movement of Mandela's inauguration, with the nation witnessing the largest gathering of international leaders at the Sandstone Amphitheatre, the Union Building in Pretoria. The event marked not only the birth of a democratic South Africa, but also the end of decades of racial discrimination. The singing of two national anthems symbolized the bridging of divides between different communities. Fear. Number 3. Courage and the meaning of freedom. A major lesson Mandela offers is that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to conquer it. He explains that the freedom comes not by being fearless, but by overcoming one's fear of overwhelming oppression. In Mandela's view, every individual has twin obligations. Number one towards the family and another towards the community. For him, realizing that his personal freedom was intertwined with the freedom of his people transformed him from a simple law-abiding citizen into a revolutionary leader. Number 4. The indivisibility of freedom. Mandela emphasizes that freedom is indivisible. In his speech during the inauguration, he points out that if even one person's freedom is curtailed, then the freedom of all is compromised. Moreover, he argues that the oppressor, by denying freedom to others, also robs himself of true liberty. This idea reinforces the chapter's message that liberation must be collective, encompassing both the oppressed and, in a sense, liberating the oppressor from his own chains of hatred. Now let's understand the summary of this chapter. In Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela recounts the historic inauguration ceremony of South Africa's first non-racial democratic government on May 10, 1994. This chapter begins with a description of the bright, clear morning and the magnificent setting of the Union buildings, where dignitaries from around the world gathered to witness his momentous occasion. Mandela reflects on the bitter legacy of apartheid, a system that dehumanized black South Africans, and explains that the day's celebration were not merely about political change, but also about the collective victory of justice, peace, and human dignity. Mandela outlines his personal transformation from a young man who once enjoyed the illusion of freedom to a leader who recognized that true liberty required sacrifice and commitment to welfare of his people. He stressed that while individual freedoms may seem attainable, the real measure of freedom lies in overcoming oppression and ensuring that every citizen can live with dignity. His words remind leaders that courage means confronting and conquering fear, and that the struggle for freedom is as much about liberation of the oppressor as it about the emancipation of the oppressed. Conclusion. The chapter Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, serves as inspirational narrative of resilience and transformation. It not only captures a pivotal moment in South Africa's history but also offers timeless lessons about courage, responsibility, and the inspirable nature of human freedom. By learning from Mandela's journey from enduring personal hardship under apartheid to emerging as a symbol of hope and unity, students are encouraged to appreciate the value of liberty and to stand against any form of discrimination.